Sectional number 10, Logansport at Northridge. South Bend Clay will travel to Kankakee Valley. Number 2, Lowell at South Bend, Washington. And number 14, Concord at number 9, Plymouth. Plymouth won at Concord 27-25 back on the 3rd of October. And I know I do need to do these other two. So
yeah, there's some good ones.
Sectional number 11, East Noble at number 3, Fort Wayne Bishop Dwinger. Columbia City will travel to Wawasee. Fort Wayne Elmhurst at New Haven. And DeKalb will be at Fort Wayne Wayne. In sectional number 12, Delta, number 7 in the 4A Coaches Poll, will be at Pendleton Heights. Delta beat Pendleton Heights 56-28 on the 26th of September. Mount Vernon of Fortville will be at Muncie Central. Muncie Southside travels to Newcastle. And Jay County at Marion. In deference to your alma mater, let's start in sectional number 9. The Bricks, ranked number 15. And having a pretty solid year, taking on Gary Westside to open up. But this is a sectional where the Hobart may be the prohibitive favorite if you look only at the records.
Obviously, they beat Griffith earlier in the year. That certainly you would think about that, but that wishbone offense for Griffith's always difficult to deal with. Bricky's playing their final go-around at Don Halfield at Bricky Bowl. There's a big emotional scenario and undercurrent kind of going right there, but they can offensively, they can play with anybody. You look at the pass and catch team. Bobby James, one of the premier wide receivers. Matt Barrister, quarterback, can get it done. But you got to look at the Butkus boys at Griffith playing here. And once again, that's a potential second-round ball game. Tell you what, and Hammond Morton sitting at the top half of this. They just beat the snot out of Hammond High a couple days ago, and they're sitting and they're waiting, they're just salivating because they're going to have an opportunity to go right to the sectional final. And you look at Griffith and Hobart, potential second-round matchup there. Obviously, they're going to be battle-tested tough and they're going to be out of gas once they get to the sectional final. Still going to be pretty competitive, and I think the Bricks certainly would like to get off the schneid. It's been 1996 since they won a sectional, and trying to get a little bit closer to those mighty Carmel Greyhounds in the 20s in regards to sectional titles.
Sectional number 10 is not very competitive, is it?
Oh, my. Cement.
You've got 3 teams ranked plus South Bend Washington 6-1 and has been ranked at various times throughout the year.
I tell you what, Kankakee Valley has improved a lot down the stretch. South Bend Clay, they got one of the premier wide receivers in Daniel Smith in the upper half of the bracket, but you could not ask for anything better than what you have in the bottom of the bracket. You have the 2 power teams in Lowell, who likes to run the football, going against the finesse team in South Bend Washington. Antoine Jones has done a great job at Washington. They got 2 of the premier wide receivers in the state on the perimeter. So you got power versus finesse. The bottom half there, once again, Plymouth just beat Concord last week. You've got power. This is going to be at the Rock Pile. Should be a great game there. You got power against finesse. Boy, 2 contrasting styles. I'll tell you what, I could have put the ping pong balls together and put this one together. This is a dandy.
Sectional number 11, Fort Wayne Bishop Dwinger taking on East Noble. East Noble traveling to Dwinger. Dwinger ranked number 3. And Chris Schwarzkopf, again, does a great job. Big matchup with Snyder Friday night, but still, you got to watch East Noble, I think, and you got to pay attention to DeKalb.
H.A. Dove, and also you look at Mike Isaac, the guys for East Noble. They are pretty good players in their regard. But make no mistake about it, this is Fort Wayne Dwinger's sectional to lose. If they get past East Noble in the first round, I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to be awfully difficult to beat. But that first game right there on October 24th at Bishop Dwinger, that will be for the sectional championship, in my opinion.
Sectional number 12, Delta, number 7 at Pendleton Heights. As we mentioned, Delta beat Pendleton Heights earlier in the year pretty easily. And you look at this, and again, you have to give Delta the nod, 7-0 right now, and certainly a lot of things can happen, but they're playing at a very high level.
Brooke Medeiros, the quarterback, and, of course, Kyle Stevens, another outstanding player. This is Grant Zagunda's best team in some time now, and once again, I think this is a one-horse race. They're going to fly high, and not a lot. But the interesting matchup, I'm looking forward to a potential Muncie Central or Muncie Southside matchup with Delta in the finals, because you have the elusive Jamil Smith, maybe one of the most exciting players in all of Indiana high school football. He can run, he can pass. He's a tough guy to figure out, and I know that if Grant Zagunda and his defensive staff can find a way to beat them like he did earlier in the year, they're going to win this sectional.
Well, that's the northern half of the 4A bracket, and we'll be back with more of the IHSAA Football Tournament Pairing Show, brought to you in part by National City. Banking made simple. You're listening to the IHSAA Methodist Sports Championship Radio Network. Paul Condry, and we are with you for the 36th annual IHSAA Football State Tournament Series. These are the bearings. I do want to take the time to thank Rob Nichols and Ira Mayer from IHSAsports.org. Ira Mayer are doing a wonderful job. We'd also like to thank our crew of Amy Harper, Celeste Ginnon, and Julie Illenfelt. And we couldn't do it without Scott Johnston alongside, making it all possible. Coming up now on the 24th of October, sectional number 13, Indianapolis Northwest at Indianapolis Broad Ripple. Frankfort at Plainfield. Lebanon at Mooresville. And Westfield travels to Zionsville. In sectional number 14, Roncalli at number 6, Indianapolis Cathedral. Indianapolis Manual at Greenfield Central. Greenwood at Franklin. And number 5, Whiteland at New Palestine. Sectional number 15, Franklin County at number 4, Shelbyville. Number 10, East Central at Connorsville. Seymour is at number 1, Columbus East. And South Dearborn will travel to Madison. Sectional number 16, Evansville Central at Boonville. And the winner will play they'll play Evansville Harrison on Friday the 31st. Northview will be at number 8, Evansville Wrights. And Owen Valley will travel to number 12, Jasper. Paul, sectional 13, one ranked team in Mooresville, but a Plainfield team, and certainly I am biased when I say this about my Quakers. They are getting better. Zionsville has been in and out of the rankings. There's a certain level of balance in sectional number 13.
You look at Zane Fakes, you talked about Plainfield, your alma mater. They can play. Brian Woodward's done an outstanding job in his short tenure there. I like the way he goes about things there. I think this is an interesting bracket here because you look at Plainfield be the prohibitive favorite at the top, but you look at Mooresville, I think, in a potential second-round matchup with Zionsville is an intriguing potential matchup. I tell you what, Coach Bless's son has done a nice job, Tower, running Coach Bless's offense there. I think they bring some leadership, that coach's mentality into the fold there. But I tell you what, I like what Plainfield's done. I think Brian's got his kids playing in a really positive situation. I think that they're in a situation where they can really make some noise.
In sectional number 14, the big game to start with, Roncalli at Cathedral. What more do you need to say?
Winner take all, a lot of people will say, but I tell you what, don't tell Whiteland sitting at the bottom of the bracket. You and I talked about this. I talked with Chris Kaufman earlier in the program. We were talking about defensively, Cathedral can play with anybody in Indiana regardless of class. Question is, how is our offense going to be able to take care of business? Roncalli, Cathedral is always a great matchup. There's a lot of emotion, of course, in that situation. But I tell you what, Whiteland, we talked with Darren Fisher numerous times throughout the course of the campaign. Senior-laden team. I was there at one of their workouts. These kids get out and get after it, and they're smart kids. Got about 25 kids with a 3.5 or better in the GPA department. So you got strength, smarts, and at the top of the bracket you got two emotionally packed teams. I tell you, if whoever wins the Roncalli Cathedral game, I tell you what, I hate to feel sorry for Manual or Cathedral, or Greenfield Central in that second game. They're going to come in there much more relaxed, and they're going to let her fly.
Sectional number 15, three teams ranked in the coaches poll. Number 1, Columbus East. In the bottom half of the bracket, hosting Seymour. In the top half of the bracket, Franklin County at number 4, Shelbyville. Number 10, East Central travels to Connorsville. So the potential if the rankings hold for a Shelbyville-East Central matchup, but this is a tough one. Right now, though, I love the way Columbus East is playing.
Bob Gaddis told me at the All-Star game this past summer that he's never had this type of talent on one particular team, and they can play. Make no mistake about it. You look at the Keel kid, their quarterback, can throw it around the yard. Deweese Wilson, a great wide receiver. These guys are going to be heading off to Indiana. But if you look at the top of the bracket, you look at the Brown kid from Shelbyville. He can run up and down the field with the best. East Central has not lost a football game in Indiana this year, so it's kind of interesting to see where they're going to be. So I tell you what, it's really neat because I think we're going to have Columbus East sitting and waiting for the winner of that East Central Shelbyville game in round 2. Should be an interesting matchup. If Shelbyville gets there, they could be unbeaten, and we could have potential Columbus East, a team that could be unbeaten there as well.